Welcome to Fair and Square. My guest today is Outgoing Punjab Governor and Chandigarh Administrator, Mr. Shivraj Patil. Welcome on Fair and Square, Mr. Patil. Your term ends as Governor Punjab and Administrator of Chandigarh. How would you rate your term if you were to critique your term and evaluate it?
It's not possible for the individual who has been doing a particular kind of duty to say whether he has acted successfully or he has not been successful and things like that. It is for the people to decide, for others to decide whether he has acted as per the constitutional provisions, legal provisions, as per the expectations of the people, fulfilling the demands and requirements of the people.
But do you think you had your highs and lows if you were to rate your highs?
And then say that. But one thing which I can say is this, that I got full cooperation from the people of the state, people of Chandigarh, government of Punjab, government of Haryana and government of Union Territory, which I was administering. And those who were in the service, media people and others also, they cooperated fully with me and I have great satisfaction. Not that somebody might not have criticized me. They might have criticized some people, but these are the reasons known to them or according to their understanding. But the number of such people was so limited that I am overwhelmed by the affection and cooperation given by them.
But if you were to see your highs and lows, are there any highs or lows
There is, I was working as a governor and I was working as the administrator of a city. I had the opportunity to function for the entire country. So there was nothing so very high or there was nothing so very low for me. I had to be correct, constitutional, legal, and I had to be as helpful as is possible for me to help the people in their difficulties as per the law.
When you joined in, there were these lot of things going on. There was this plan of a media city. There were plans of IT progress more, in the IT park. But sometimes it feels that Chandigarh didn't move forward. It kind of went into a limbo when once there were these huge controversies about all these things before you came. And how do you see that happening in the sense, will it move forward?
As a matter of fact, the previous administrator here acquired the land and gave the land to the industry to develop the industry. And they have taken the plots to develop the industry. Excepting for a few industries, no other industries have been established by the people who have taken the flats and they are retaining the flats. There was hardly anything which government could do. Government of administration of Chandigarh did not ask them not to do it. On the contrary, we were telling them that if you don't do it, we will take back the flat and give it to those people who are really interested in it. So the responsibility of the government to acquire the land and give it to them for film city or electronic city or industrial city was performed by the previous administrator. But after that, the duties were to be done by those who had taken the flats. Now people took 125 acres of land to construct the houses for the people living in the industrial areas. And they did not put up even one single house for 15 years.
Are you referring to the Parsvanath case here?
Whichever case is there. Now that is his responsibility. On the contrary, they were asking, sir, नहीं, हमको ये नहीं दिया, हमको वो नहीं दिया, क्या नहीं दिया? Plan क्यों नहीं बनाया? ऊपर से तार जाता है बोल के plan नहीं बनाने दिया. What is meant by it? ऊपर से तार जाता है, plan नहीं बनाने दिया. The wire which is passing over that flat is passing over one corner of the plot. It has nothing to do with plan. And the wire would not have stopped from making a plan. Constructing a site at the time of construction, one can understand. But they did not do it. Intention was to delay to see that the prices go up and sell it to those people who are in a position to give that kind of money, which was not good.
So you've spent, all your life in public space. You're very well aware about the whole governance issues all over the country. There's been this constant debate about, how Chandigarh should be governed. Some people say that the administrator post should be abolished and the chief commissioner should be brought in. Some people say actually it should be an assembly because it's too bureaucratic at a certain point. What are your views on this?
These are the views expressed by the people with certain intentions in their mind. And people who are expressing their views have their own interest to protect. If somebody says that the governor should be there, probably he has something in his mind. If somebody says that the government servant should be the administrator, he has a view. If somebody says that there should be a legislature, he has some view. But at how many places you can have legislature in the country? Can you have the legislatures for the cities? As a matter of fact, the corporation is an elected body, and that body is given a right to make the rules, lay down the procedures, make the policies for the development of that city. But legislature means a law-making body. Now, can you give the law-making authority to the members of the one city? And if you give the law-making authority to the member of Chandigarh, you shall have to give the law-making authority to the members of the Jalandhar, to Batinda. At every place, can you have the legislature? Delhi it was given. But even at Delhi, there was lot of resistance. But ultimately, they gave. But they did not give full right to the Delhi also. The police was not with the Delhi government, and dealing with the land was not also with the Delhi government. Now, this is the responsibility. Now, if governor is there, governor is not easily pressurized by the interested persons. But the officers, they try to pressurize them. हम तुमको transfer करवा देंगे. And they go to the extent of saying हम governor को transfer करवा देंगे. They go to the extent of saying हम chief minister को बदल देंगे. Now that kind of thing some interested parties do it, which is to protect their own interest. If you don't turn the leasehold into freehold, you say that हम तुमको बदल देगा. क्यों बदल देगा? If anybody is having a lease and living in a flat, if the government has taken a decision to throw him out of that plot, then government has to explain his difficulties. But if anybody is allowing him to be there for 30 years, again 30 years lease can be given. Third time 30 years lease, 100 years lease can be given at the lease rent. You are allowed to do it. But if you make it into a freehold, you sell the plot and you go away. Why should government help this kind of thing? Government would take back that plot, take back that shop, or take back that industrial plot or a house and give it to the person as a lessee, for which he will be required to spend less amount of money.
The governor system.
So the people who think that it is easier to pressurize the government servants than to governor, who cannot be easily removed by anybody here, they say this thing. And legislature, I have explained to you the difficulty. Legislative body is a law-making body. Delhi has a legislature, but Delhi is also very difficult, and we were there in the parliament when this decision was taken. And it was very difficult to accept this principle for Delhi also. Andaman Nicobar wants a legislature. Daman and Diu wants a legislature. Lakshadweep wants a legislature. Chandigarh wants a legislature. Jalandhar will like to have a legislature. Bombay Corporation, the budget of which is equal to the budget of Orissa, more than Orissa's budget, would like to have a legislature. They have a rule-making authority, but not a law-making authority. law-making authority as per the constitution is given to the parliament and the state legislatures.
What do you think, but in terms of that, Chandigarh, obviously the governance here can be improved, for optimal
What
governance.
do you mean governance? And what is it
Governance
lacking?
hasn't people getting more out of from the system, more transparency, more this.
There are two kinds of governances. One is to help the people to make money. Other is to provide the facilities to help the people to live a better life. Drinking water, sanitation, education, health, transport, housing should be provided by the authority. That is being done. But if you think that you should allow me to have the leasehold property into freehold and sell it and make money and say that this is not a good goal.
No, in terms of scope of improvement, in terms of what are the areas you think we can improve, the system can
That
improve?
is exactly the point which has to be understood by the people at all levels. Now, we shall have to understand that time has come when we shall have to decide which city will be doing which kind of duty. New Delhi is an administrative city. Not an industry is allowed to come up in New Delhi. Even in old Delhi, there were industries. They were thrown out of that city. Now, Washington is an administrative city. Canberra, administratively used. In the same fashion, Chandigarh is an administrative city. It is the capital of Punjab, capital of Haryana, and capital of Union Territory. And all the big offices which the government of India wants to have for this region, that is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana, will be established in this city. It should develop into an administrative city. But if you want to develop it into an industrial city, we shall have to understand why Delhi is not allowed to develop as an industrial city. Because you can have a different industrial city. You can have an industrial city away from the cities like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Chandigarh, 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. And there, the plot should be given for establishing industry. Plot should be given, land should be given for establishing houses, medical facilities, education facilities, entertainment facilities. Transport facilities should be given to them. Water should be supplied to them. And many other things should be supplied to them. But it should come up as an industrial city. You cannot have,
you should have a focus.
The collector's office in that industrial city. Collector's office will be at a district place and the capital will be at Chandigarh, Bangalore, Bombay, Calcutta and other places. Bombay is a trading city. It is not an industrial city.
Mr. Jaitley, the finance minister, recently made a statement that Chandigarh could be one of the first smart cities.
Correct.
Now, when we say a smart city, what exactly is a smart city?
Smart city means a city which is neat and clean. One. City which is providing good education facilities to the people living here. City which provides the opportunities to the people living here to be in contact with anybody in any part of the country and any part of the world. A city which has institutions like Punjab University, city which has institutions like PGI, city which is very, very properly planned and the plan is not allowed to be disturbed. Fortunately for us, plans are not allowed to be disturbed in New Delhi.
So smart cities can be administrative cities, they can be industrial cities, they can be, so they can be classified.
You can classify it. Now, you can't change the nature of Bombay from the industrial, it is not an industrial city. Textile industries were there, textile industries also have gone out. It has remained as a trading city, import, export, diamond and this kind of things and all those things. It is not possible to have enough land for Bombay University in city of Bombay. It's not possible to have a land in Bombay for an institution like PGI or AIMS. Now, it's not possible to have land for the Delhi University also. They have also gone out of the Delhi University, the city of Delhi. They are in different, Jawaharlal Nehru University now. That has to be understood.
You've called Chandigarh as the second best city of the country. So which is the first?
Delhi, New Delhi is the best.
How do you say Delhi?
New Delhi.
I mean, I go to Delhi, I take an Allegra at Karnal and then only reach Delhi because I get asthma, I get all those kinds of illnesses.
Not in New Delhi. That is in Old Delhi. Not in New Delhi. I have lived in New Delhi for 30 years. New Delhi is the best planned city. And they did it 100 years back. And we did it, this Chandigarh, 60 years back. And this is the second best planned city.
So New Delhi should be the model to be followed more than Chandigarh perhaps.
You shall have to understand why is this city, what is the main purpose of the city. Right. So we are saying that we will give land to Punjab government, Haryana government, Delhi government, UT government, even the other state governments who are coming and establishing their offices and the houses for the officers and all those things. But if you want an industry to develop, we will like to see that it goes to Panchkula, it goes to Mohali, or it goes to beyond Panchkula or Mohali, not in the area which is under UT administration. If you do that, then you shall have to throw the district officer's office outside Panchkula and Mohali. All the people from here have to go over there. That's not the smart city then. So that has to be understood.
As the Home Minister, when 26/11 happened, how has 26/11 changed the course of Indo-Pak relationships?
I mean, you know.
Because you were at that point the Home Minister, there was information coming in, and because now you can look back at, that incident.
I have written my book, Odyssey of my life. I have written nothing about 26/11 because I resigned, and the party was telling me that you are not responsible for it. You are Home Minister. Even the Chief Minister is not responsible.
So you resigned on moral ground?
The big incidents took place. Now here, 10,000 people died in some incidents. Nobody resigned. Hundreds of people died in the schools in other countries. Nobody resigned. But we said that our politics is different. If there is a political pressure, thinking that somebody should be held responsible, somebody in a who, Prime Minister, or the Defence Minister, or the Foreign Minister, or the Home Minister. Everybody is ready to resign.
So were you forced to resign by your party, or you resigned on moral grounds?
I resigned myself. Everybody was saying, अगर ज़रूरत है तो हम resign कर दें. तुम काय के लिए करते हो? Home Minister ही करेगा. But they did not trust me.
But coming to the moral response.
On the contrary, they said you are not responsible. But in political circumstances, it is done.
The political circumstances of the day which forced you to.
But in my book, they expected me holding someone responsible for resigning. No, not that. On the contrary, they started saying, IB director should resign, raw director should resign, this should be resign, Commissioner of Police should resign and all this. I said, it should be enough if the Home Minister of India has resigned. You don't ask them to. And the poor fellows, they came with the resignation. I said, it's not necessary.
All the IB director and the raw director.
How can you be held responsible? And information was available. It was given. But even if information is given, the difficulty in these extremist activities is that we know the plan, but we don't know the time and the place where this incident is going to happen, and in which the extremists take advantage. So how can you hold the Commissioner of Police responsible? If anybody has to be held responsible, it is the SP of that district of Bombay should have been held responsible. But how can that poor fellow also would know that at this particular time and here this is going to happen?
But do you suggest a way how how should we react to these things at a political level and
how has
at
the
the
world,
public level?
How has world has reacted to these things? How has world has the biggest, strongest countries? How have they reacted?
They have reacted. The 9/11 incident, for example. I mean,
they acted as if boldly. In France, something happened. They were not criticizing the government or the home minister and all. Sarkozy was home minister before he became the president. And this present government, they did not. They offered prayers for the lives lost. And they showed the unity. You shall have to show the unity against this tendency. And that will help. That is one thing. Second, you shall have to long-term plans. Increase the number of the policemen. Increase the strength of the intelligence agencies. Provide them more modern equipments to collect the information. Provide them the strong transport facilities to transport the people required at one place to the other place. You train them to understand the psychology of the people who are intending to those things and all those things. And then you take the risk. Even after that, things will continue to happen.
when you had to resign, this pressure, there seems to be some kind of an anger in your...
Absolutely no anger.
That how...
You probably those who know my life and how I joined life and all those things. I was inducted into the politics at a very, very young age.
As a municipal council head?
Municipal council. And that too I was reluctant. I said, if you want to send me to some place in the elected position, send me to the parliament. They said, you at least get elected to the municipality and then talk about the parliament. We shall have to know whether you will be elected here. And I joined municipality. Then the same thing happened to the assembly also. I said, I want to go to Bombay to practice, but I don't want to go to legislature. They said, no, you shall have to do it. And Mrs. Gandhi, especially Indira Gandhi, gave me the ticket. Because that time she had decided that the youngsters will be given the ticket, educated ones will be given the ticket, those who have some experience of administration will be given the ticket, and those people against whom less number of complaints are, they will be preferred. And I was preferred to a relative of mine who was the president, vice president of the Jilla Parishad, and I was given the ticket. I did not go to Delhi. They gave me the ticket. When they included me in the ministry without asking. And then in the parliament, 1980, I was speaker of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. They said, you shall go to the parliament. You are all the time talking about international issues, national issues. You don't have any work here. Go to the
kick him up.
No, they said that they are kicking you up.
Yes,
upstairs.
exactly.
So I said, I would not like to do it because elections require money and I am selling my forms and I am contesting it. They said, don't worry, this time we will send you without taking any assistance. My father was totally against my joining politics. He said, ये क्या है करके खेत बेच के करता है election.
Oh, that's how you funded your elections?
हाँ, तो मैंने बोला कि मैं नहीं करूँगा. तो बोले कि तुम इसलिए कुछ मत करो. And they forced me and they got me elected by a majority of more than 2 lakhs of. And then when I came, without asking, Mrs. Gandhi inducted me in Defence Ministry. And then continuously I remained in Defence Ministry. So I have been saying that my party, my leaders of the party and the people have been so kind to me. If at one time I had to resign, why should I be angry? Why should I remember that I was inducted as a Home Minister. I have contested 11 elections. 10 elections. Last elections I lost. Last election also I lost. I thought that no, I can't be defeated now. So I don't have to go and
overconfidence.
So they said that अच्छा तो फिर तुमको घर के बिठा देंगे. So then why should I be angry with the people? Why should I be angry with my party? Why should I be angry with my cat? And with that view in my mind, there was not even an iota of anger or dissatisfaction in my heart, which will not be easily understood by anyone. 400 to 500 people joined in my house when I sent my resignation, and they said, "Why are you doing it?" I said, "I am accepting moral responsibility without any rancor in my mind, which will not be easily believed by some others."
खबरों की दुनिया में आइए, हमारे साथ कहीं भी और कभी भी जुड़िए। हम मिलेंगे फेसबुक पर, हम दिखेंगे यूट्यूब पर, हमें फॉलो कीजिए ट्विटर पर। खबरों के साथ बने रहिए रात दिन।